guys? Welcome to Pop 411 Podcast, your weekly podcast for all things nerd culture. I'm Ireland, and this is my lovely co-host,
Carlos. What's up, y'all?
What up, guys? We are currently covering the developer direct for Xbox, which came out a little bit ago. Yes, I know, but I have been massively sick underneath the weather, and I have not been on social media for the last 2 weeks. I have lived underneath a damn rock. So, even though Carlos has already watched this as the dev gaming guru over here as he is, I'm watching it for the first time. So we are reacting to the trailers of what has been launched because I know nothing. So
Yes. And then so today we're going to review the second game.
the second game.
Yes.
All right.
So I can't wait.
Are we ready
Let's
to
go.
see my reaction to this?
Do it.
Because we just watched Ninja Gaiden. I'm so excited. Here we go. Fire away.
Compulsion games.
Blow me. I mean, my mind. I don't know why we have like Alabama and small Louisiana banjo
Hi,
going
welcome
on.
to
right?
Compulsion Games here in Montreal, Canada. At our studio,
expect that
we
one.
care about world building, and we treat the setting almost like a character of its own. From the
Okay.
magical noir of contrast
That's
to the
dope.
alternate history of We Happy Few, we draw inspiration from the landscape to shape mood, drama,
Okay,
and
that's a
mystery.
southern pronunciation.
Yes.
For South of
Oh,
Midnight,
this
our
makes
third-person
sense.
action-adventure game, the story and characters bring a folkloric Deep South to life. This gave us a chance to explore Southern Gothic themes with a dark fantasy twist. So while our protagonist Hazel is at the forefront of our story, it's the macabre elements and larger-than-life creatures that will leave a mark on her journey and growth.
Oh boy. It almost has like the Horizon Zero Dawn
It is really picking
graphics
up
to
out there.
it.
Did you pack everything?
Mama, this ain't my first hurricane. I know what to do.
As long as you didn't forget the.
Flashlights and batteries.
Oh, should we got 5 minutes? Let's go.
Won't be rushed if you didn't.
Don't mumble. Speak on it.
I said we wouldn't be rushed if you didn't waste all that time at the shelter.
Now, you want to bring this up right now.
I'm just saying.
Hazel, please.
We might need some help. I might need some help. While you're out helping everybody else.
Hazel.
Oh, she mad. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Hazel
that's
may
cool.
start her journey as a typical 19-year-old, but
She's stunning.
Yeah, it's really
disastrous
pretty.
events will push her into a darkly magical world where she'll learn who she really is and how to tap into weaving. An
That's
ancient
dope.
magical power that redefines her trajectory in life.
This is kind of like the base of the folklore of
The
the
land
South.
itself
I love it. It's
chooses
just gonna
Hazel
be
as a
the
weaver.
energy and stuff.
That's what I love about
Oh,
this.
it's an owl.
Can see
Sold.
beyond the surface and tap into deeper
I like how
reality.
it brings in
grand
some of this, like the South
Weavers can see the
folklore, the
fabric
hoodoo
binding our
vibes,
world.
right?
Oh, a lot of voodoo.
Yeah.
Like the
Nature
Creole.
and
Yeah.
echoes of the
And I
past.
like the idea of weaving. That's so cool. Like,
Hazel
it's
can
different.
perceive both
Time
the
weaver.
mystical strands and stigmas in the world. Through her newfound power, she reweaves these stigmas and mends the afflicted creatures she encounters.
As Hazel discovers her power, the world gradually shifts into the surreal, revealing that creatures from the old folktales
She's very pretty.
actually exist.
You
Folklores,
are
yeah.
up here. My salvation.
The catfish.
Among them is good old Catfish, the storyteller who becomes both the guide and companion to Hazel across the game.
It ain't every day I hear about a new weaver such as yourself. Would you kindly do your weavy thing and help me down?
The voice actor is
Meeting
pretty dope.
Catfish marks the true beginning of Hazel's journey. All of Hazel's arsenal and powers are designed around textile crafting and traditional
Is he French?
spinning wheels. Her weapons
Mhm.
include a
Sounds
thimble,
sounds Creole too, like a little
two
Creole,
wooden
like
hooks,
Creole. But I
and
mean
a
Creole, French Creole, right?
Yeah.
The magic abilities manifest with supernatural
about that one,
lace-like
yeah.
patterns, blending the traditional craft with mystical elements.
See, that's
Hazel
cool.
engages
It's
with
different.
the world through a variety of movement abilities. Those abilities also help Hazel progress on a journey.
As her journey unfolds, Hazel will master new weaving abilities.
So it's a
using
form
them
of
to
building,
traverse the
but it's
world,
weaving energy,
conjure objects,
an element.
Yeah.
and confront adversaries.
Combat is about understanding and adapting to different enemy archetypes known as Aints,
Ooh.
the manifestations of corruption Hazel encounters.
These hates trap Hazel in combat until she unravels them, destroying them in the process.
Each Ain't has its own unique moveset, strengths, and weaknesses that you'll need to learn and adapt to. For example, the slug burrows on the ground and unleashes devastating strikes from afar,
So it's a combat strategy,
while
Right.
the Ravager closes the distance with chilling speed.
melee versus ranged.
Hazels
Yep.
encounter these threats with agile melee abilities.
This tells you what
leading
builds you need to
powerful
set up
combos
and like what if
What-
there's
what
crafting
abilities you
available.
need to have.
Yep.
and charge attacks. But close combat is
So
risky
yeah, she's
and can
using different
backfire
types of
because
weapons,
Aints have powerful defensive abilities.
and then she'll have to weave different things
Mastering
with
your
it.
magical skills become the key to gaining the upper hand in combat.
Nice. Oh, look at that. That's dope.
Push, pull, and weave are some of the spells at your disposal that give you a tactical advantage during a fight. Timing is everything.
Say yeah,
Pull
it's
distant
like
enemies
timing.
close to start melee combos, push them back to interrupt and stun their attack. Then press the advantage with follow-up strikes. Spells interact uniquely with each enemy type, creating dynamic combat scenarios.
Oh, that's
especially
cool.
when facing multiple types
So there's
of
going to be a lot
opponents
of
at the same
lot of trial and error here
Once
with
you're dead,
trying to figure out
enemies can
what
be
combos
unraveled,
and spells
breaking
you
their
need to
core
use.
and setting them free of their corruption, which has the added benefit of providing health boosts and reducing ability cooldowns. If
So that's
play
how you gain your
combos
health
right,
back.
You can enhance Hazel's combat readiness and keep on chaining her abilities. As Hazel progresses in the game, she unlocks new moves and improved abilities, and you'll have
So
to
there's a
decide
tech tree.
which areas to
Wow.
prioritize.
This attention to
Upgrades will
detail
change
is
how you
just
approach combat,
immaculate.
like enhancing area of effect
I love the
attacks,
vibe. I love the vibe of this game.
or refining push and pull skills to improve precision and make them feel more rewarding. The combat system is fast and responsive, built around chaining attacks, landing precise strikes, and unraveling enemies.
You mind if I take a look around?
You can see every place old Molly terrorized and more. Now for the low, low price of $1.
In
Love
Hazel's
that.
search for her mother, you'll explore multiple regions, each ruled by a mythical creature with their own Southern Gothic history.
That's dope.
You'll gradually uncover the
Whoa.
backstories of these beings, once human or animal, who were transformed by tragedy, their secrets waiting to be discovered. As a weaver, Hazel heals these creatures by collecting fragments of haunted memories. We call these echoes, which reveal each creature's past. Hazel must experience these echoes before she can mend them.
What kind of person would do that to someone?
That's deep.
We design each region to reflect the creature that's been doomed to wander it. From the atmospheric environment to
You have to
unique
help
music
build.
themes
Yeah.
composed for each one. While not all encounters
There's
lead to
combat, but
direct
it's a goal,
combat,
right? There's a goal.
Hazel will need to face mythical creatures in epic confrontation before she can heal them. Our boss encounters and gameplay sequences also reflects the uniqueness of each creature, with distinct mechanics that center around
Boss
a
battles with
specific
mechanics,
thematic.
yeah.
These encounters feature multiple phases that
Damn.
ramp up in complexity.
That's kind of creepy.
As the encounters progress, the
Some of the
musical
one-
theme
some of
builds
them
up,
remind me of, like,
creating
Alice.
tension alongside the fight. Whether it's Two-Toed Tom or Hugging Molly,
Oof.
each of these larger-than-life creatures is inspired by Southern folklore and lead to climactic
I was gonna say,
battles.
I'll tell you about this.
We got a long journey ahead.
Soul Sisters,
South
Weaver
of
Sisters, I
Midnight
tell you.
unfolds as a hero's journey, and as Hazel, you'll travel through a tapestry of Southern-inspired landscapes. From abysmal swamps
Yo.
to flooded farmlands to the Appalachian peaks. In our magical South, decaying buildings reclaimed by nature stand moments away from a hungry Rugal. And as Hazel delves deeper, reality bends ever more toward the fantastical.
The history, landscape, and
I love
folklore
that.
of the American Deep South fill our world, and our team has infused the game with thoughtful details and environmental storytelling, like our bottle trees and haintwood
bottle
porches,
trees.
which are said to ward off evil spirits.
Yeah.
The weight of the past emerges as central themes, which you can see through old abandoned buildings and businesses struggling to survive.
Mm.
As you explore, you'll meet locals who stayed behind even in the face of a hurricane.
So I'm the last person left here. All those damn haints. This part of the river's filthy with them.
Artistically, we're staying true to
There
our
are
movie
people who
compulsion
just will stay
signature
through a
style.
hurricane.
Swamp people.
But
Swamp
this
people.
time, we're using a handcrafted approach inspired by stop-motion
True.
animation, which allows our team to bring a distinct personality and tone into every
Look
prop
that.
and character.
Ooh.
Because this
It's very
folklore is open
Coraline-y.
to visual interpretation,
That's dope.
we embrace the freedom to reimagine
Yeah,
these
it's voodoo.
creatures and their stories to adapt how
Ooh.
they look and to craft our own version of a fantastical Deep South.
At Compulsion Games, we love to craft around central themes. We're lucky to have talent across all our disciplines that collaborate to give South of Midnight such a unique personality. We hope you
Well, he's
enjoy
one of the
it.
Voice
monsters.
actor. He's a voice actor for
Ah, he's
sure.
getting into
We're
it.
thrilled to announce that the game will launch on April 8th, and pre-orders are now available on Xbox and Steam.
April
This
8th.
year?
Yeah.
What? All right. So there's a lot of things in here. As somebody who's like a lot of history depth, learn a lot about this history. Like I dive into the architecture, and the architecture for me, like when I look at different architects and styles and stuff, I found a lot of things in the South and the Southern things very interesting as far as when you look at buildings and structures. It tells a lot about the people, it tells a lot about the society, it tells like actually a lot about the history. So I discovered when I went to Halifax, so when I went to Nova Scotia,
Mhm.
so Nova Scotia is actually full of Creole people.
Huh?
It's
The
insane.
French folks.
They are. And they actually, when they traveled, when they migrated and went other places, they settled down in Louisiana, Mississippi. So that's where the Creole comes
Ah,
from. Like
okay.
that's where that is. So whatever you see as far as the buildings, the food, a lot of this folklore and stuff, this is all generated over from Nova Scotia. Like a lot of that has came down that way. So I don't know if there was like how that happened to be, but it's so trippy when you go there and you're like, wait a minute, what? And they have snow. Like I'm trying to figure
They
this
have
out, right?
snow.
So you try to figure it out, but then like I spent a lot of time in Halifax, um, a lot of time like months, and so it's just like studying different, learning different things, and that's where I learned like you get the Creole. That's how Creole is actually in Montreal. That's how it's like adapted into the French because it's French Creole,
Yeah.
and then you go down that way, and so you start paying attention to like the filigree and a lot of the accents, and then the woods, the structures, the buildings, where you get the beautiful, the gothic look to
Yeah.
things, and that's where it kind of looks like that. A lot of the two is the combining of the people of the South, like the French Creoles from the U.S. and the French, Creoles that came down, and you get a lot of these folklores, you get a lot of these tales, you get a lot of these stories, and just seeing that, like, there's
Yeah.
so much history in the South. Like I can't even like they just hit a tip on the iceberg. There's so many things when it comes to like voodoo and swamp witch. Like there's so much, and they're very high energy, very intuitive to like
Yeah.
everything. Like you get
Yeah.
like witch doctors, like Princess and the Frog is shit compared to like what it actually really is. And you could just tell the detail, like looking through, like they would nail it. They would nail the accents, the clothing, the behavior, everything to it. Like for somebody who's like obsessed with this is a meal to me. Like this is just amazing. Like the concept, the gameplay, the end goal, the strategy, the planning, the weaving, the crafting. This is a sleeper.
Yeah.
Like this is so good.
This one.
Like the story. Hold on, I'm
Okay.
going.
Go,
I'm
go,
on my
go.
rant here.
Fly,
Okay?
fly.
So like I love it when, and I haven't felt this way since like when you got God of War when it came out before Ragnarok, right? So and Ragnarok was great too, but when you get a good storyline
Yeah.
and you add the details to it, and it's so heavy in details, like it's rich, like thick, like honey butter, right? And then you combine it with great gameplay, fantastic gameplay, smooth gameplay. You add it with fantastic voice acting. You add it with the whole thing from start A to, I mean, they had me hooked, boom, right on the entrance, straight into it.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is the first of its kind. Like, this is amazing. I'm like, this is it. And that's how I felt about God of War. This is definitely how I feel about this. Like, there's so
Oh.
much lore here. There's so much to it. I love the voice acting. I love the design of, the monsters and things you go for. Each of it's a different part of the folklore. Like, there's so many. So for them to pick and choose, they had to have somebody who's like,
Somebody knows.
yeah,
They
like
consulted a lot of people.
they took like like
do this.
the Canadian French Creole, and they actually like pulled up
Yeah, went to
like
Louisiana.
Southern French
Let's
Creole.
go.
You know
Let's
what
go
I mean?
check this
And they
out.
literally combined it. It was like, let us tell you the tales, and I freaking love it. I love it. So, like I said, I love all the concept of this. I love how it looks amazing. Move through with it. Like this is just one where there's mechanics to it and things like that, but this is just one where you could actually just it just takes in your whole mind. It's
Yeah.
not one you want to speed run through. You actually want to savor
Yeah.
this.
This was really, when I saw this one, it was one of the games that I really want to play because I
Yeah.
felt it was very unique. Not only
That's
not
what I was
only
gonna say.
with
Tell me from like a dev point of view, from like
yeah.
your point of view. Like, what do you say when you see something like this that like it's completely different
uh,
than what we just saw with like Ninja Gaiden? Like, what do you think of
Oh,
this?
I mean, I'm just I love the idea of taking something that is just rich with
Oh,
lore
so rich.
and the architecture and them also just paying homage to a lot of that,
There's
right?
so many stories to tell from that
Just super
folklore.
cool. I love the idea of the protagonist who's just
Beetle's
fits
gourd,
the
it just
vibe,
fits
right? It fits
everything.
fits where she lives, right?
It's perfect.
The idea of a weaver and combining some of the voodoo and hoodoo aspects of things, so cool. And even just the idea of you are trying to bring everything back to life, right? You're using your magic and your weaving that you discover as you level up to be able to do that,
And you're
right?
having to heal these creatures now
Yeah,
that
heal
used to be
them,
humans, and
right?
you have to go through and collect the pieces from their traumatic trauma that
Yeah,
they've experienced. Like you saw her like pulling a violin and
yeah,
stuff. Like obviously one of these characters played violin,
yeah.
and
She's a
like
healer,
yeah,
which is
basically,
fucking amazing, like a southern
essentially,
healer.
essentially.
Yeah, so cool. And
And she's weaving. She's literally like I feel like in this time when the hurricane was coming in and she was looking for her mom, I feel like she got like time, like she's caught the in between time.
yeah,
And so this is like her learning stage as she's going through it, healing these
yeah,
things. Because weavers are time travelers. And
yeah.
so you're going through doing all this stuff and you're weaving to get to this end goal.
and
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 this is
and
amazing.
the other part that I thought was interesting is like their combat is good. It's good combat,
Mhm.
right? I mean, we've seen combat like that before, but just how you're incorporating the whole narrative and the whole idea of weaving and
Right.
then taking that and going, okay, here are the combos that we're going to be able to use. Here's your spells, and just making it feel cohesive is something that I was just like, oh, I got to play this. Like as soon as this
Mhm.
game comes out, I'm going to get it because I love it.
It's like you get any other turn-based fighting. You're like, it's another turn-based game, but it's a story.
Yeah,
It's like each move is serves like a different purpose. And
yeah,
you're like, well, man, I haven't done it. Like my purpose for this, like is completely different than playing
yeah.
on this
And what
game.
happens
So
when I help heal the world? Like, what does that look like? Do
mhm.
I ever find my mom? Like, I mean, some of the stuff is like, yeah, my mom, who knows what happened to her? I'm
Yeah, I
looking for
mean,
her.
like, you get like some of the like, you're looking for somebody like the trope. Like, I
Yeah,
get it,
yeah.
but like, this is just
Yeah, it's
this.
dope.
Like, it's people that like, oh, we're just gonna take bits and pieces and throw it together and make a game. But you're talking about like, there's research here,
Yeah.
there's time, there's commitment, and
And love.
somebody and
A
love,
lot
and
of love.
somebody actually like they pulled people on this project, or they like consulted people that actually like experience these things
Right.
and they made it to true, because I'm looking at this whole thing and I'm like, this is history.
And
This is
nothing's
gorgeous.
forced, right?
No.
This just feels fluid,
Yeah.
right? And the overall narrative and what's happening and how she's kind of discovering herself as she moves through, I was just like, this is great.
And the voice acting's
I
phenomenal.
can't wait. I want to play her. Like she's such a cool character
Phenomenal.
and her weapons are unique.
I think they've been working on this one for a while,
Oh, I'm sure they have.
because a few friends of mine who are voice actors, there was a casting, I want to say in 2022,
Yeah.
that were looking for characters for this, for so I'm gonna assume
Yeah,
that
this
it
is
was this
probably
game.
like 3 or 4 years to make this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Which is
mean,
fine.
this is just yeah.
And
They don't
the
rush
the
things like
the
this.
the big thing for me is also the attention to detail because the small details make a great game.
Mhm.
And
It
everything
could be
I've
the
seen so far,
simplest. It could be the simplest of moves.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It could have the simplest of crafting. But but I'm in a game, when I play a game, when I sit down and I'm actually gonna play some type of a role playing game, or I'm gonna dive into some type of realm, tell me a story. Like I'm gonna get up and go to work and pay bills and do the same thing, but I want a story with it.
yep,
And I want it to be good. And I want it to give me brain food. I want it to be something that's not like basic. How's the weather? Like, don't give me small talk. Give me the meat and potatoes.
yeah. And
And I think
I
this
judge
is it.
games by how much sleep I lose, and I know that I'm going to lose a lot of sleep playing this game.
It's so good. The art style matches what they're going with, matches the vibe of everything. This is an atmospheric
This is
masterpiece.
sleeper. This one's going to
This
be
one,
great.
1000%.
Yeah, I bet it's going to be a nominee
Oh,
for
1000%.
Game
1000%.
Awards for sure.
I mean,
Absolutely.
we know that's rigged, but I'm telling you right now, right now, this one's a sleeper.
Yeah, it's great.
This is fantastic.
I'm
I
glad you
think
love it. I'm
I
glad you love
think
it.
you guys I mean, it's coming up again. You know, it's coming up April 8th. I really think you guys should check this one out.
Yeah, because I'm going to, and
Yeah.
you're going to.
Yeah.
It's right up my alley.
I know people are like, oh, you know, it's like a female presenting protagonist. But I'm telling you
Who
what,
gives a shit? She's
it-
amazing.
but
The
I'm t-
vibe, the kit, everything is
I'm
great.
telling you what, this one. If you like games that are actually like thick in lore, good in history, I mean, like I'm telling you, they're just hitting the tip of the iceberg. The South has the French Creole and in the South have so much history.
Yep.
It's like,
Yeah, I mean, I can't
it's
wait to play
insane.
through the levels because I want to see like how much detail they've put
Oh, I'm
into all
excited.
of
I'm
these
so
different
excited. Yes, this one.
Win.
I feel like, no offense, like, no kid. Sorry if there's kids in the room. I just got mind blown, like mind fucked, because this is utterly fantastic. Well done, Compulsion Games.
Yes,
well done.
yes, yes,
Well
yes,
done.
yes,
I'm very
yes.
excited.
And remember, April 8th,
I'm
2025.
like,
I'm standing in line because I'm gonna
pre-order
I'm
it
gonna
anyway,
pre-order
so
it.
I'm pretty excited. So,
Let's go.
all right. On that note, you guys should check that out.
Yep.
And
So that's the second one.
wow, all right.
Yeah,
we shall
already, that's
carry
two.
on to the third one. Thank you guys for tuning in, watching our reaction to the South of the Midnight from Compulsion
South of
Games
Midnight.
on the Developer Direct with Xbox. I'm late because I was sick. Sorry. Anyway,
We'll see you guys again.
and we'll do part 3. Tis
Peace
out.
out.
Get this one. So good.
I love this fucking
This
Like,
game. This is it.
yeah.
This is it.
When I saw this the first
This
time, it
is
had
it.
me. I was just
Like
like,
the
I got
goosebumps. This is
yeah,
it.
like her character,
This
everything
is it.
fits. Everything
This is
fits.
it.
Yeah,
This is it.
great. All the way around.
This is game of the year. Like Ninja Gaiden is great. Love it.
Oh yeah,
Love what they're doing.
that's gonna
But
hit
I'm
a fan
telling
base.
you, if you look at something like look at me, I'm covered in goosebumps.
Yeah.
When I literally, I'm very good. When a song comes out, I'll tell you where it places within the Billboard. I'll tell you where the awards it's going to get. I'll literally pinpoint anything, music, games, movies, whatever. Picked God of War, knew that one, knew why it was there. Fluid, this one.
It's
This
so
this
different.
studio knew what they were
It's
doing.
so unique.
But what I love about it and what you can tell, I love this, right? You gotta think French studio, right? Because they're based in Montreal. It's the love, the
There's a lot of love in
passion,
there for this one.
the passion in this one.
Yeah.
The passion.
You can
in
see
this.
it.
You can see the attention to detail in the small. You could see it in the little things from the trees. They put glass bottles on the trees.
They put your alley.
Well,
You were like, oh, no.
That's a spiritual thing.
I know.
that's a huge spiritual thing. But like,
But
it's-
that's intentional.
But here's the thing. What movie, what thing have you seen that's based in the South where they actually show the bottles on the trees?
They don't. You don't see it
Exactly.
in the bottle trees. It's a huge, huge part.
When you're dealing with spirituality,
Southern
you go
folklore.
to any voodoo, any witch doctor, anyone, any type of that type of medicine, or anybody who's very big
Yep.
in the Southern
Yep. Oh yeah.
juju, they literally have it all.
No, it's
They nailed
it's
it. I'm
fantastic.
like, what? Bottle on the tree? You pulled me. What?
No,
Nobody does
there's-
this. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. This is great.
Look at this. This is perfect.
Yeah.
The art direction's
Well
perfect.
thought through.
Immensely
Great
thought
game
through.
design.
Look, there's
Great
Snake.
narrative.
So you see here, like this is literally pieces of it. You got the churches.
Yeah.
You saw the plantation houses, right? So we're gonna pull up. They're not shying away from that.
No, they're diving in.
They're diving. You know what? There's plantation houses here.
Yeah.
Our
But
main
that's what it is.
protagonist is African American. We're doing this,
Yeah.
and I love it. And you have like obviously you gotta have your gators. You gotta have the
Gotta
gators,
have them there gators.
right?
But there's the Underdark. Look. There's that,
Yep.
that other side.
So they flip it, so it's almost like a Stranger Things, the upside down.
Mm.
That's why I said, well, a time weaver.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it is.
I could see this, going into multiple games.
Oh, 1000%.
She's gonna get better,
1000%.
cooler, right?
1000%.
Oh yeah.
1000%.
so
Even
good.
if it's a standalone, this is utterly fantastic. Utterly
I love it.
fantastic.
And you like it.
Utterly. I mean, look at this. They even have the small boats.
Yeah.
They
All
have
the
the
attention
house
to
built in
detail.
look at this. And what I love about this, you can't see this very well, right? And you wouldn't know this because you're not you're not a clothing designer. You're
No.
a video game designer. This is actually French lace.
Ah.
So you see
okay.
this is French lace.
So she's weaving with.
So this is what
So
it
what was
is.
interesting to me is look at the outfit that she's wearing
Mhm.
in this. right?
Hmm.
It's different from what she was wearing at the beginning,
Hmm.
right? So this is might be her ultimate
So
form, her
it could be, but
armor that
what you're
she's
seeing
created.
with this is the Edwardian style. So this is something from the late 1800s, mid 1800s, late 1800s. So we're actually, it's telling you the precedent of where they're pulling from the lore. You got the French lace that's coming through. So you're getting
I
that.
love how the bottle trees is
It's, yeah, because
part of the
that's their
logo.
logo.
Yeah.
So they're telling you this is a spiritual thing automatically.
Damn.
But they modernized it. So they slit her eyebrow. They gave her a nose ring. Like
Yeah, they
they
give her a
braided her
little. They
hair.
give her a
Like
little
I
vibe.
love it. They gave her, I mean, they literally nailed this. And then
Yeah.
you have the Southern Church. And then you have like, you have the snake, which is another symbol of like goes into the
Yep.
folklore of the South and like all this stuff.
Yep.
But that attention,
I figured you like.
this one,
Yeah.
this one's amazing. I love this one.
Win.
This is so good. Like it's one thing, it's like it's studios get it. Like they'll get like, we need to make this combat intense. We need to do a Devil May Cry. We need to make this visually appealing. We need to create a cinematic experience. We need to, remaster something that everyone loves. Like that is kind of the basis of what you get normally with things, right? We're gonna dive down to some, lore, like a God of War, right? The reason why Santa Monica Studio like God of War is so good because of all that attention to that lore,
Yep.
right? With their little touch on it, because
Yeah,
we know
of
Loki,
course.
all that stuff, whatever. Their little spin. They did a little spin. That's fine. They still kept true to like Odin and Thor and like what Kratos actually is as
Sure.
a god killer. We're seeing that going into, the new Snake movie.
Yeah.
Called it. Anyway, you see that traditionally. This, you've got historians on board. You've got people who've done research. So you've got your research finders. You've got an art director who's very familiar with this style, who focuses on the architecture and the history from from these periods, brings it in modern. You got the coloring that goes with it. So they really thought and put a lot of time in this. Look at her outfit. Look at the French lace. They really brought the Southern French Creole. They're bringing out all the folklore. They've done a lot of diving because there's not a lot of this stuff you can find in books.
No,
This is a
you
lot of
have to go.
stuff where you actually have to get boots to the ground,
Yep.
check it out,
Talk to people.
talk
like,
to
get the whole-
people.
yeah.
What's the which stories? What's the stories here? Like this sort of thing. Like what's the folklore? What's the haunted? What's the tales? And this is literally like a kiss. Like this is like a long, just cup the hand of the face. Like just
It's a dream.
just
It's
like
beautiful.
yeah, a cinematic and chef's kiss.
Chef's
This is
kiss.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. There's so much love in here.
No.
There's
great.
so much respect and love for this.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I can go talk about all this.
I
It's
know.
the history. It's the fucking history. As somebody like a design from building architectural to like an architect point of view to like a a clothing architect, like engineering, this